What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a new episode of Subhuman Rants. So today I'm going to do something I talked about in my last video, which is going to be the hate video for the sequels. Um, so it's not going to be completely just a flat out hate video where I'm just going to bash them the whole time. I'm going to explain the reasons why I didn't like them. This doesn't say that everybody has to hate them. I know there's like a big thing with Star Wars fans where if you're not with me, you're against me, type of thing. So that's not what it is. You can like whatever movie you want to like, but I really didn't like these movies, and I'm going to kind of explain why. Um, Now, a little bit of background on this. I am, I think a little bit differently than a lot of other Star Wars fans. I know a lot of Star Wars fans basically view the originals as the best of the best. That's it. Nothing will compare to them. I'm not that way. Um, I started out with the prequels. I was a kid when those movies were coming out. Um, So it's a little bit different for me. I mean, I definitely I have different opinions on it, and honestly, yeah, they don't really match up with a lot of other people's opinions. Well, maybe not anymore. I mean, there's something that's been going on a lot lately. I'm someone that does go on to TikTok and stuff a bit, but I see a lot of people on there and just everywhere online. It's kind of a rally call back to the prequels to where people are actually starting to show appreciation towards them. Maybe just because they didn't like the sequels, but I've been someone that's been pretty much defending the prequels since they came out. I got a lot of hate for it. Talking to people that are Star Wars fans about it, it seems like everywhere where I went, everyone was like, "Oh, the prequels suck," blah blah blah, and I would be like, I don't think they did. Now I'd end up, kind of going back and forth with them on it. But anyways, the prequels in my mind, and I might get flack from you guys on this. I believe they are the best trilogy. Um, Not all around, but in my mind, they're my favorite. Um, Predominantly, the first movie, so the Phantom Menace, and the third movie. So we're talking about The Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith. Those are probably my favorite two movies. Um, Not just for what they are for the movie themselves, but also for different things that they represent, the messages that are kind of hidden within there and the plots that are hidden within those movies. I also do like Attack of the Clones. I know that movie gets a lot of hate, but no, in my mind, I really do think that these movies are really good and they're my favorites. So now that everyone's, going to start believing how I'm not a real Star Wars fan or whatever, um, the sequels. So the reasons why I hate the sequels, I'll start with some of the ones that a lot of other people are saying, and that is that they really undercut a lot of what Star Wars was. So we'll start with the Chosen One prophecy that came about in the prequels. Anakin was meant to be the one that restored balance to the galaxy. Um, Now, in the way that I think about it, that Chosen One prophecy, it also meant getting rid of some Jedi. You can't have balance if there's thousands of Jedi and two Sith. So what I think happened was I think Anakin did bring balance to the galaxy. He, got rid of all of these Jedi and then balanced it with the two Sith. And I believe that was pretty much the balance that needed. However, I believe the strength that Palpatine had and the fact that the other Jedi went into hiding, it didn't fulfill that prophecy so much because of the fact that you've now have this evil guy that's running the world, everything, running the galaxy, and then the people that fight for good are hidden, Tatooine, Dagobah. So in my mind, it's kind of a here give or take thing and whatever. But the final part of that prophecy was Anakin coming back from Darth Vader and killing Palpatine. So a few things on this. The fact that Palpatine came back in Rise of Skywalker definitely throws that right out the window. He was supposed to be dead. I know that there's books and stuff like that that bring him back, but there's other kind of explanations for that, but that's also not technically canon. Um, so I believe that that's a huge error on their part, is bringing him back. Another thing is Ray. So they kind of are taking on this whole prophecy type of thing with Ray, although they're not calling it a prophecy. They're not giving us a prophecy that's going to explain it. Um, Ray is, for whatever reason, when you start the series off, we don't know who she is. We don't know where she comes from, but we do know, okay, she has this calling to the Force and whatever. So, okay, if she had lived, 50 years before, 60 years before, she would have probably been taken into the Jedi Order. They would have sensed her power, and they would have taken her on. Now, but does that mean that she has to be as strong as she did become? I mean, you don't really see any training with her, and that's, I think, one of the biggest complaints of a lot of Star Wars fans with the sequels is the lack of growth in these movies. Uh, Damn. But basically, she just picks up a lightsaber for the first time and just can use it. And I mean, Finn does the same thing, which I believe that Finn was originally planned to be a Jedi and was supposed to become a Jedi, but they really threw his character away. But Rey, they just basically built her up to be this overpowered, you know, being, and she really shouldn't have been. I mean, they basically made her to be like the almost like this godlike thing to where she can do anything she wants and she comes up with these new powers and stuff like that that we haven't seen before. And in my mind, I think that really ruined these sequels because she didn't grow. That was kind of the biggest thing, is she just can do it on a whim. She doesn't have any of this training. And in my mind, yeah, she can kind of do a lightsaber, but if she was supposed to be as good as she's meant to be believed, there should be some sort of training. I mean, she did kind of train with Luke for a little while, but she really didn't learn that much. She wasn't there that long. It was kind of supposed to be like this rip off of Yoda training Luke, where they both really didn't take too long to train, but she was so much more powerful. I mean, Luke, you know, I have a lot of strong feelings with the battle, the lightsaber battle in Return of the Jedi. I don't think that Vader was giving it his all. If he did, I definitely think that he would have probably just destroyed Luke, but he didn't want to, and I think that's the reason for that. But Luke not having any of this training, he wouldn't have been able to fight that back. Rey, she doesn't have more training than Luke. Luke's been spending years working on his training, and I mean, for her to just come up and just freaking, she can even take on Kylo Ren. And Kylo Ren, yeah, he's been trained by Snoke and Luke and stuff, but he hasn't had full training. It's not like he's, Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, that they've spent their entire lives almost training, and they become so freaking good with the dueling. Like, look at the prequel movies, the lightsaber duels on those. Oh my God. They're just so much more. There's so much more movement and technical power with it. I mean, but she just kind of has this overall power that she can just take on anyone like that. And I think that was wrong. Another problem with Rey is the fact that she's nobody, then she's somebody, then she's nobody, and then now she's a Palpatine. That ruined a lot of it. I think how they should have went about it with the sequels, she should have stayed nobody. It should have been a thing to where you don't have to be a Skywalker, a Palpatine, a Kenobi. You don't have to be any relation to any of these people to have power and to be someone in the galaxy. I really think that would have been a strong suit for Disney to take with this, but Disney and Lucasfilm kind of missed the ball on it. And this goes with my video that I did, I believe it was 2 videos ago, with the Marvel Universe. They planned this stuff out. These sequel movies were not planned out. You can tell that it was basically, okay, J.J. Abrams is going to direct one. What was it? Ryan Johnson's going to direct one. And then I believe the original plan was that Colin Trevorrow was supposed to direct another one. And then J.J. Abrams had to come in and direct the third one instead. But it was basically like, oh, and you get one, and you get one, and you get one. and just do whatever you want with it. That does not work. You have to have a plan before you go into it. I mean, Lucas had planned out almost all of Star Wars. Not every single little detail about it. Lucas had a good idea of what would become Star Wars before he made the first movie. I mean, he planned out, he knew what the general gist of what was going to happen in the prequels while the sequels were going on. Did he originally plan to make a movie about all of it? Maybe not. Maybe he just planned originally to make the first movie and then it took off, so he made the rest. But the plan was there. It was like writing a book. You can't write a book with three people and just say, okay, so we're not going to talk about what we're going to do with this. I'm going to write one chapter while you write another chapter while you write another chapter, and then just put it all together. They didn't discuss the plot. They didn't discuss where they were going with their chapter. They just said, okay, I've got mine done. What did you come up with? And that really ruined these movies because, like I said, the whole thing with Rey not knowing who she is and stuff like that, it should have just been left to where she was nobody. That she was just someone that unfortunately her parents dumped her on this planet, and she has a strong connection to the Force. She shouldn't have to be someone, because if you look at it, all these people from the prequel trilogies, they weren't anybody. I mean, Mace Windu, you don't hear, okay, so he was this person's son, blah blah blah. I mean, if you look into some of the books and stuff, you might find that, especially with like Count Dooku. Okay, so he has like royalty and whatever, which I think was perfect for having Christopher Lee take on that role, because he's the most interesting man in the world. But I'm not going to go off on that. But the fact is, all of these people that you see in the prequels and even the original movies, Han Solo, you don't get this whole in-depth thing about how, oh, Han Solo's father was this person and his mother was this person. The only people that really are part of this bigger identity are the people that have to be. I mean, you've got Leia and Luke, who the whole reason for them being in this series is the fact that they were Anakin's children. And other than that, you don't hear this whole thing about anyone else where they came from. They're there because that is life. You are just there. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. Not everybody has this long list of royalty and whatever. That's how it should be. What Disney made these movies into was, okay, we're going to basically make the strongest people in the galaxy all have to come from this line or this line. And that's not how it should be. So I definitely could go off longer on this, but I don't want to make an overly long video. So I'm probably going to cut it here. If you do want to hear some of my other opinions on this, definitely leave a comment down below. And if you like this video, definitely give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Like I've been saying in my other videos, I'm planning on making a bunch of these videos and getting them going. I've definitely kind of slacked on it the last few months, but I'm planning on getting everything going and making some nice content for you guys. So, but that's all I have for you guys today. So definitely have a good one. I don't like that ending, but that's what you're going to get. So